Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope we're enjoying our Tuesday and looking after ourselves. I hope to bring you some good news in this video. I hope you're happy to hear some of the news that I'm going to be bringing. It's been an interesting, I'd say, last few days. I think it's kind of stagnated a little bit. Well, we've got some progression, and that's at least something. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the situation at centre-back. We do have progression finally after all these weeks. We also have a progression about a centre-back leaving, as well as a potential centre mid leaving, and we'll also have a big update about Manor Solomon, okay? So let's jump in with the main news about incomings. I think a lot of fans care more about incomings than outgoings, which is brave, because I don't always agree with that. But hey, we'll move on anyway. So this came from Fabrizio Romano. So if you're not aware about Fabrizio Romano, because I think some people don't really trust him, the dude is the man in terms of football, you know, rumours and in the nose. I mean, if you've got over 16 million followers on Twitter, you're kind of the guy, right? And he tweeted out last night, Tottenham are advancing in talks with Wolfsburg for Mickey van der Ven, told the agreement between the clubs is now close. Negotiations are underway and talks on Monday were really positive, waiting for key details, more to follow. So, one thing is we know, contracts, wages, not an issue. Forget about them, they're never going to be an issue. This deal, I believe, maximum will be £30 million. Maybe the add-ons may reach 30 million, but I'd probably say it's about 25 to 27 and a half, somewhere in that realm, right? But I also saw some things this morning on Twitter from quite in-you-know sources, very much tier one sources, alongside Fabrizio Romano, and said, do not rule out the possibility that Van der Ven and Tapsoba still come in. Now, the cynic in me says, no, not a chance. The pessimist says to me, not a chance. The realistic version of me says, not a chance. We have heard for weeks where it's one or the other, and all of a sudden, now it's still potentially both of them. We know both deals are still on the table. It's not to say that Tapsoba's deal is now dead. It's still on the table, but I also think this could be used as a targeting tool towards Leverkusen to say, hey, if you're not going to play ball with us, we're going Van der Ven. You're going to lose out on this money. Which I don't think Leverkusen really mind all that much. I think, you know, when you look at their defence, I think they're really worried about not losing Frimpong. That's the main guy who's the right wing back. You've still got, obviously, Hincapie, he plays on the left-hand side, Tapsoba. You've got the nucleus still there in that team, right? But if we were to get both, that's fantastic, right? Are we going to get both? I'm going to say no, okay? Which, look, if I'm proved wrong, oh no, what a shame. I will be devastated. It'd be the worst thing that's ever going to happen to me. It's going to be great news if I'm wrong. But I'm just being realistic. It's not going to happen. They're going to treat Longley as a new signing. Hey, look at this Barcelona centre-half we've got. We saw him last year for a whole year. Yeah, he wasn't our worst defender, but he didn't set the world alight. And anyone that says that he's our worst defender, see Eric Dyer. Okay? Done. Forget. Your argument there is now virtually irrelevant. Okay, I can't lie. But he's never going to be what we need him to be in terms of a top quality centre-half. I mean, he's already been told by Barca, you've got till July 18th. Don't worry about coming to training. They don't want him. But they also want money for him for financial fair play. And we've gone, just buy him out of his contract and we'll take him on for free. Which, like I said, if he was coming in after Tapsoba and Van der Ven, I can understand it. It's good depth. But I'm not spending money on him. I'm not then paying him the wages that he wants for then him sit on the bench. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. You're better off probably just keeping Joe Rodon or something like that, you know? But when you look at the players that we should be selling this summer, you know, we sold Winks for 10. We're going to talk about a couple other players in a second, but you could go through the list from back to front, Lloris being one, Perisic being another at left back. You're carrying three right backs of obviously Emerson Royale and Spence. You don't need three. That should be another one. So you're talking about a goalkeeper, two fullbacks. You look at your centre-half option. You got Romero, who's obviously going to be starting. You got Dyer, who they can't ship off because he's going to run down his contract. But then you got Rodon, Davies, Tanganga. You don't need all of them. You should be getting rid of at least two of them, in my opinion. So Rodon and Tanganga being the two that I think you should get rid of. Okay, well, that's another two. So already you're at 5 players that should be going. Winks is gone. We'll count that as 6. You then got Lo Celso. You got Pape Matar. You got Skip. You got Højbjerg. That's 4 players there. You could probably lose another one of those. That's 7. Troy Parrott, Dane Scarlett, Alfie Devine, send them out on loan. That's 10. Brian Hill, 11. Mora's 12, basically. So you should see this as we should be getting rid of our players. Yes, if Tapsoba and Van der Ven come in, happy days. But the idea that that window that is like an 8 or 9 out of 10 is just delusional. I can't lie, lads. You've got to look at people going out of the club. That's just as important. Clearing out, fresh start, fresh slate. We need to get rid of 8 to 10 players. Until we get rid of that, this window for me is a 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10, maybe. The incomings are great. The outgoings are just as important. You need to really strip back this squad, get rid of dead weight, bring in the real quality. We don't need a big squad. We're not playing in Europe next year. We're not going to be playing twice a week, 3 times a week. We're playing once a week with the occasional twice a week. We don't need the big squad. We can just get rid of a lot of players, right? So let's, just a quick update. Manor Solomon, deal done, agreed. He's there. Check social media. He's got his Spurs stuff on. He's had interviews, all that jazz. Done. It's a 5-year deal, so till June 2028. So happy days. Another one in the books. And normally what happens is when we got someone done or thereabouts done, another deal gets progressed quickly, aka Van der Ven. You can see the timeline. Speaking about players going out, so we spoke about a big list of players. I admittedly left off one centre-half on that list. It's Davinson Sanchez, because we know he's going. So Sanchez, obviously, we know he's got interest from Turkey. He's got interest from Brazil. He's got interest from Russia. So Galatasaray bid €9 million for Davinson Sanchez, which I think is about £7.6 million. Don't hold me exactly to that, but it's in that realm. You might get €10 million, but I don't think we should be stretching ourselves that far, because the way I look at it is, are you taking his wages? You are. Fantastic. There's a deal. There's his wages. We'll end up saving up to potentially €20 million, no doubt. 15, 20 million euros, somewhere in there. It's a good deal in the end. It's a very good deal, okay? His wages alone would cover Solomon. His wages alone would cover Vicario, either one of them, you know? If you're doing Winks as well, it'd cover both of those wages. Hell, it'd probably cover Madison's wages between those two, okay? The other one was Giovanni Lo Celso, which I believe is the guy that has the most value of all the players that we might be moving off. So Fabrizio Romano also went and said, I understand Tottenham have been approached by Real Betis for Giovanni Lo Celso. There are 2 to 3 clubs in the race for Lo Celso, but Betis are keen on opening talks, and next week's Spurs are aware of that. I think you could get about 20 million for Giovanni Lo Celso just purely of running up an auction between the clubs that want him. We know that Villarreal want him. We know that Betis want him. We know that Barca like him. You know, Villa want him. So you've got all these clubs, and Villa have got money to spend as well. I'm not having this idea that we should sell him for 10 million to Villa. I want 20 million from Villa. I know they've got money. Hell, they've got more money than us. They've got richer owners than us. So we would get good value out of him. If you think him, Winks, Sanchez, that would pay easily for Madison. Great. So then you've Vicario, 17.5 mil. Solomon's a free. We've barely spent this summer. And then don't forget the other players that still might be leaving who are going to bring you back some value as well. You look at it, we're probably not going to have a massive net spend unless we spend on Van der Ven, Tapsoba and another midfielder. That's the only way you can see a big net spend. Because most of the net spend is going to be covered by the people leaving. And that's why I said it's so important for these players to leave. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'm not going to go too much into the Celso situation because we haven't really seen a bid. It's not really relevant as much just yet. Sanchez obviously has a bid in there. They'll probably try and work it up to, I don't know, 100 million knowing Spurs, because sometimes they're really, really outrageous in those moves. But anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like if you did. Hit me in the comment section. Look, Solomon's in. Van der Ven deal progressing. Players leaving. Are you happy? What players do you think should leave is always an interesting one. Obviously, lads, also the other thing, if you've got video ideas, I'm always happy to have a look at them. If they're doable, I'll have a look at them and see if I can get them into a video, all right? Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and obviously hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.